Cool. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's having a great week, great weekend. Everybody's green and not too many reds, right? We all experience those reds, but it's okay. Not a big deal. I know everybody ended up having a red day when the market ended up dropping on Thursday, which caused a little panic all across the board, but it's okay. Nothing new. It's all normal. Just experiencing some pullbacks here and there. Okay. So nothing to panic about. Last week, what we did talk about was /ES about hitting these levels. And we did clearly talk about the trend change that happened within the structure here, that this now became a nice demand. And we end up breaking up to the top over that trend line, and then therefore hitting that 45.50 and then the 4,500. Sorry, 44.50 and then 45. And then we're now looking for the 45.50. All right. So just a reminder, guys, we are at all-time highs, so you're going to experience those aggressive pullbacks, and those aggressive pullbacks are okay. There's nothing wrong with them. It's actually something normal that happens when the market is at an all-time high. It causes aggressive selling because you have a multiple of things happening. One, people are trying to get into some short positions. Two, you have people getting trail stopped. Three, you have people just scaling out of their positions, plain and simple, right? So it's a multiple things that can happen and also lead to the new trader to cause to panic and therefore get out of all their long positions, and therefore they get stopped out because they're grabbing short positions. Next thing you know, we're just cracking all-time highs again. We've been breaking all-time highs on a consistent basis. Okay. So when something happens on a consistent basis, do not go against it, okay? I don't know what everybody else is saying out there about expecting a crash or something, but there's nothing about the market that says crash, okay? So expect to be bullish, okay? We have our little downward trends. Yes, we have those trends where we can play puts. You have those intraday patterns. You have those bull flag patterns, those descending triangles on those smaller time frames where you can play puts. But this market is bullish, okay? No matter how you want to look at it or what thought process you have about inflation and about COVID and about this new Delta virus or, this war happening. Like I said before, there is nothing that's dropping the market right now as of currently, unless we go into some crazy war. And then let's talk about some bearish plays. But for now, everything is still pointing up. There's still more green than red. And that's the direction that we're headed. So one of the things that you guys know already from the past few weekly watch lists, that I like to look for the great risk to reward. You want more reward and less risk, okay? I'm not going to have Facebook on the list. I'm not going to have Google on the list, because those things are, all-time high levels, and you really don't get a lot of reward for those. You can day trade them. Yes, good for you. I hope you're green. I hope you're doing amazing with those tickers. But I want to look for something where I can get in and load up and not be scared of a little pullback, because I have structure. And today, my main focus is going to talk about airlines. Airlines is going to be the main focus for the week. I'll show you a few other tickers as to some of the potentials that we have. But my main focus specifically this week will be all of the airlines. Okay, I did post out some swing trades out there. I have I have Disney and airlines. So hopefully you guys can potentially take advantage. And airlines was a sector that I called out. A whole sector, go long on the whole thing. Don't think about it, just go long. I put out a trade idea out there, and because I trust that the process of the airline sector is going to be great. Let's get to it. All right, so for ES, we're looking bullish. Okay, guys, we broke out this level, this nice demand. Now we're looking for the little small levels to build, and this is just a little area where you want to keep focus on 44.77 and then the 44.85. If you want to round off, by all means, go ahead. Above 45, let's go long. Below 45, start thinking about maybe a little few short positions here and there, but don't, like I said, don't panic. Don't come in here thinking we're going to have a correction, okay? Because look, we have more green than red, guys, okay? So not too much on here, not too many levels that you can go off of, but literally you can use the previous highs, the previous lows, the structure down here, and then use psychological numbers. You know, if you're looking at 45, you're looking at 45.10, 45.15, 45.20, 25.30, you know, and so on, and just trail it that way. Okay. So the market is very healthy. NQ is right behind it, which is tech. And it looks like we closed on a good Friday. We had a nice bullish day and week, which caused everything to have good momentum towards the end. So look for tech to continue. Okay. The other one is going to be RTY. This is why I'm so big on the airlines, airlines and financials. I think financials are a little too high, so I'm not really going to put them on the watch list, but you can definitely go back and look at them and we'll cover them. But look at the RTY. So far, it's holding these levels. These are the levels where I really don't like to dip by, just because it becomes more of a higher risk because we are building some candle bodies down here. But I was able to trade all the other sectors, which was awesome, like financials. And then now we have airlines. So we're looking for this base to continue into the right in the top. So we have that 2340. Okay, the high 2340. And then we have the inside 2282. Okay. So this is the level where I'm going to be watching for buyers to continue to step in. I want the volume to continue because so far all the buyers are still at these levels. These levels have been great dip buys for IWM, which is a small cap sector. They're doing real good. You can see here we have a nice squeeze. It's still range. So once we start breaking out, I think RTY will be the one to lead the market in general. And then we're going to start seeing some airlines and financials just pop off. But I think it's going to be airlines that's going to be next. That's going to be able to carry the market in general. So watch out for that. Okay, guys. Airlines is going to be the next sector to just start pumping up. Okay. We're looking at /GC. /GC, I have something good coming for you guys on Wednesday, so look out for a new video. Might pop out Tuesday, but I'm really hoping for Wednesday. I'm going to talk about a little bit about hedging, so please look out for that this week, okay? If you guys continue to watch these weekly watch lists and you guys doing great, the educational side also provides a lot of value when it comes to trading in general. So GC /GC is gold. So I do have my alerts here at 1836, 1824 area. I just want to pass these wicks right here. But for sure, I'm looking for a nice bullish run into /GC. But we'll talk about that on Wednesday, okay? Oil, same thing. Oil's doing pretty good. There's nothing bad with this. But one thing I do want you guys to take note of is that if we do end up going into some type of war with everything that's going on around the world, you know, come and take a look at oil and see how it affects it, okay? So just a reminder. XLF, financial sector, like I said, is doing very, very great. If you guys ended up seeing the breakdown on how to do the financials, then for sure you guys would have ended up green by the end of the week. Everything ended up blasting off. So it's creating all-time highs, and if it keeps on moving, financials can keep on going. So please go take a look at those. BAC, C, I think C has the better setup right now. GS, right? JPM, all these are at great levels. But for me, like I said, I don't like to put anything that's at an all-time high level unless there's like a nice setup. But everything is pretty much rolling and it's not stopping. So XLF is on a good run as long as RTY can keep on pushing. Okay, so this is not going to be my main focus, but you can definitely make tons of money from this sector. Okay, we do have Ark. What I want to point out, I think I like Ark right here. So I think I've said this before too, that if you guys are trading Tesla and you can't trade Tesla like some in the monies or anything like that, I highly recommend coming back and checking on Ark because it's one of its biggest holdings. So if Tesla is running, most likely a lot of that weight will carry into Ark, and Ark will have a nice green day. And therefore you can come in here and trade some of these contracts because they're not that expensive. So better than looking at a Tesla contract, you know, that's like 4K when you can look at one of these and it's like you know, 200, $300. So definitely you can look at Ark. So remember, I'm gonna have my alerts on Ark over this like 123. Okay, just to be on the safe side, I just want to be able to break over this nice range that we've been trading in. And once that happens, I believe we can see a nice run all the way into that 132 area. I'm not saying we can get there in the next 2 to 3 days. Okay, I'm just saying in general that once we hit these price points and we start breaking and building, we can definitely hit into those levels, which will create a nice staircase pattern and continue to the top side. Therefore, you're going to see things like DKNG, POTR, SQ, Roku, Tesla, anything that's under the Ark ETF. You can definitely watch it roll on up, right? So there's that. Okay, I'm going to get into these swings, and then we'll get into the airlines. Okay, so Disney, we're going to first and foremost talk about Disney. The range that it's been trading in here, right here between 178 and 179, has been a lot of supply. Okay, the meat of the bone is all right here. So that whole area, it's the level of rejection. Anything above it is just extra. They're just little resistance levels. There's nothing major. The supply is here. Okay, so once a ticker becomes building candles on a bigger time frame over a supply, that's when you know that we're good to go and we're good to create a new trend change. All right, that's your confirmation that you have multiple hour candles built inside that level. And as you can see here, we kind of had this like bull flag pattern happen here with Disney. So that's why I was able to post Disney and get into a position here and build into it around the 178. And then here on Friday, we ended up getting in, which was pretty awesome. So it's a nice level to be at for a nice trend change. Okay, so some of the levels that I want to look at, I want to make sure that we hold over that 179 and 180. Okay, I don't know where we're at, where we're going to be at pre-market. It really doesn't matter as long as we stay above 179 and 180. I am long. Okay, no matter what. If it hits 180.10, I'm long. If it hits 180.30, I'm long. Okay, it's very simple. Why? Because it's the fact that we're trading over these levels that now would catch attention, and the volume that came in on Friday, some good catalysts came in. Great, the catalyst came in at a perfect time to build over that supply. Therefore, if we get a nice pullback, we're going to get a nice retest. We're going to look for something like this, and then we're going to look for that trend change, right? Therefore, you're able to grab a swing play and hold it for some time, right? The best thing that I can recommend is go light when you go into your swing and go heavy when you go into your day trades for your weekly contracts. Therefore, you're able to pay for your swing trade. And next thing you know, if you want to average into the swing trade, now you're putting in your money. So remember that, okay? Heavy on the weeklies, light on the swing trade. Therefore, you're able to manage the weeklies and pay for your swing trade, okay? But just understand that Disney will, but has potential to trend change, and my target for Disney is going to be 185. Okay, for any entry up in here over 181, if you want to feel safer, 181. Right after that 181 is going to be that 182.80. If you want to look for the 183 whole number, and then right after that we're going to hit that 185. So I'll be in Disney all the way into the 185, and I'll be trailing on the whole way. I'm gonna get in and out of this position as much as I can, not just let it sit there, because then it can go sideways. It can do whatever it wants. So I'm looking for continuation for Disney since we're already in that swing play. For Z, like I said, I'm not posting stocks that are all-time highs. I'm looking at stocks that have great risk to reward. If I'm able to capture all this move all the way into that 180, then by all means, that just means that I'm making that much more money than anybody else in the market, which is going to create me a consistent, profitable trader using just one ticker, because look at all that amazing reward that we have for Z, right? So look out for stuff like this, guys. You know, don't think that just Facebook has an all-time high and Google's an all-time high. Don't think that that's the only thing out there. You know, there's things that have structure, that have, you know, room for growth, potential to change trend, and potential for you to catch that staircase pattern, which can give you a lot more profits than Facebook can, just so you guys know. For this one is very, very easy. Literally over 100. I want to take it long, and I just want to capture every single little structure that we have. So I'm looking at the candle bodies, 103. I'm looking at this bottom, that 104. Okay, looking at this bottom right here, 105.97. You can just round it off, 106. Here's that other top piece, 108.61. Okay, and then I'm gonna look for this piece, 111, and then you have the high of 112.44. It's very simple, not much to it. I just want to look for the reversal. I am in the 100 calls September 17th, so I have more than enough time for this thing to go above here. That's it. If we can continue above, I believe Z can have a nice trend change. And like I said, if you're watching Ark, Z is under Ark, so you can definitely look for that sentiment, okay? As long as we stay in here, I'm holding my position. If you guys are uncomfortable holding at like 97.50, then for sure just get out of your position and get back in once we break that level, 100 level, and look for the way up. You want to look for volume. You want to look for nice green candles, good market sentiment, and look out for any type of catalyst that can drive it even further. Okay, so that's going to be Disney, Z, and then I believe I posted BA. Yeah, BA, DAO, but we're going to get into those in just a few. I want to point out MU for you guys too. Last week it was on the watch list, and this thing hit over 100% within the catalyst that it had, which was pretty amazing. So I'm gonna go on to 15. The break for MU, some of the levels that were given were right here. Okay, dip by level was right here, so I was actually able to trade this on Monday. Caught this dip down here, rode it all the way to the top, held my swing, and then held this swing all the way up here. Loaded heavy once we ended up breaking, and then that news popped out right away. And then I think a lot of people took like over 100%. I saw one of the mods in the conservative collectors take 900%, which was freaking amazing. So that was one of our biggest runners all last week. So if you missed it, guys, you can only have to blame yourself. The other biggest winner that we had was also TSM. Unfortunately, I did not get into this, but look at this huge gap up. It even ran that same day on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, it just ran some more. So, just some tickers that you potentially can look at. So for MU, they do have earnings coming up soon, but there is some great news for it. They're going to have a 2-for-1 stock split, which is cool because it's at a weekly level. And once we start breaking the 74.50, I think it has potential to literally just fill to the 77. Okay, that's all I want on MU. For those who have smaller accounts, from the 74.50 to the 77, that's going to be the target. Okay, for the week. If it goes further, then by all means, I'm sure you guys can go look at some levels and look for 80. That's what I would say. Look for 80. But for now, this is all I want. I want to be able to buy the dip down here. If we come down here, the 72.50, that would be my dip buy. The breakout would be 74.50, and my target is 77. If it goes higher, then let's go for that 80. Okay, very simple here with MU. Not much to really think about. Okay, a couple more. Let's do a couple more. Some side charts that you guys may want to take a look at. The breakout for PayPal, 280, 280.50, okay? A nice little range, and then the bottom is going to be your 273, okay? Keep those alerts. Once we break, they're going to be a little breakout. It could cause a little momentum trade that you can take for a day trade. Not just a day trade, but potentially a swing trade. So who knows? If we can have like a nice bullish candle, maybe something look like this, then for sure we'll look for that continuation and just look for the nice trend change, okay? You guys know already that these ranges, they break and they start creating staircase patterns. BYND is the other one. This is at a weekly demand, okay, from the 120 all the way to that 125, okay? Well, 124.50, sorry, 124.50 to 120. It has a nice little pattern here, okay, nice little squeeze. So on Monday, it has potential to either pop or drop. One of the two is going to happen. Once that happens, please make sure if you guys don't want to get in on this pattern play, then you for sure can get in around that 124.50 and then take it long, okay? BYND is a crazy mover. So characteristics for BYND, I'm letting you know now, it likes to pump and dump during the same day, okay? So the movement can be aggressive, but the dip buy can be a lot better for you if you can't handle that momentum trade, okay? This is a momentum trade. This is a momentum ticker. that likes to just run like crazy and then pull back pretty heavily. It's weird, but you guys make sure that you're in and out of this position if you do take it, okay? I do have a high target of 130 and then, yeah, about 130 to 30, okay? Right here. Sorry, 132, 40, and then 132, 130, sorry. Okay, 130 to 132.50. That's my target for BYND. If we can break 124.50, that'll be my target. So for sure, I would look for a swing, just like that. Okay. Keep it simple, guys. Nothing to it. All right, so that was Z, Disney, MU, PayPal, and BYND. And now we're going to cover the main one that I see a lot of value in, okay? Airlines. Let's go look on the weekly time frame, all right? Check this out. I want to show you guys why it's on my radar. Let me do this. Here was the high of that recent, looks like a little fish hook pattern type thing. It kind of dropped on that COVID, and then we just kind of pushed up. Okay, it took some time, but nonetheless, it gapped up, and then it dropped back down, and then right here we started retesting that same level. So the weekly time frame, it's always everything. It tells you the whole story, has all the information, and then look at this. We kind of created like this double bottom down here. A nice retest of this specific level, okay? That 21 level, okay? I'm just rounding it off. Take that off. So just so you guys see the bigger picture and how biased we can be. And I'm not saying bias like when you're in a trade and you're hoping that it goes your way when you're super red. I'm not talking about that bias. I'm talking about the bias that has a potential to drive, the potential to keep on going, the potential to give you that much reward, okay? This is what I like to look for. I like to look for stocks that are ready to rock and roll once they're at the bottom. And then we're literally just catching these bottoms and catching these trends and then riding those waves. That's what it's all about, right, guys? If you're not catching those waves, then what are you sitting there doing, right? The goal is to hop on that train, let it go, and whenever it stops, we hop out. Very simple, right? You go from point A to point B. That's it, okay? And don't worry if it goes to C, D, and E, and F, right? You just want to make sure that you go from point A to point B, okay? It's our goal to be on the train, not to get run over the train, all right? So here's your other high, okay? Let's look at this. I'm gonna mark this wick just because it's important. I don't like to mark wicks, but I want to point it out why. Here, we had that retest. Here we had the retest, but then we failed, and then we retested here, so we dropped. So we are currently at a nice weekly level. What I want you to see as well is that the volume has increased, okay? It increased in a nice area where we can start pushing to the top, okay? This is what you want to see when you start to see reversals, when you start to see major levels at supports and resistance. You want to see an increase in volume to keep on continuing and to take the stock for the reversal. Now that you know that we have this piece here, let's go on the 4-hour. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you just jets because every other airline ticker looks the same. This is why I called out a whole sector. If you're not in this whole sector, find a dip where you can, okay? Look at this, okay? Look at this nice downtrend, all right? Nice downtrend, nice little, a little fight in between bulls and bears right here. And then a nice little squeeze that it had. Nice little squeeze and then the pop up. All right, now I'm going to show you a few tickers that have the same setup. Look at this. Nice rundown. Here's your resistance. Here's your resistance. There was your little squeeze that we had. And there's that pop up on Friday. Here's your AAL. Same thing. Here's your downtrend. Here's that little squeeze thing that we talked about. Okay, I'm not drawing all these perfect, but here's the pop. Here's UAL. Look at UAL. This one's a little bit different. Okay. So this one has a nice little channel to the top. It has a nice little staircase pattern, okay, without that little top trend line. But you see this trend, the trend changed here on UAL. As long as we can continue to break this piece right here, which is your 48 level, we can definitely start seeing that 50 level, that 49.50, and then we'll start seeing 50, and we'll see that trend change potentially happen on that specifically. BA, same thing. This one's just a little bit crazy just because it doesn't follow properly their airlines. I don't believe it's right under it, but nonetheless, we do consider it part of it. It's part of the industrials actually. But if we can break that 2250 area, I think we can continue to push, because here we had a nice little base for BA, and then we actually broke down. I was actually in this trade and I ended up taking some losses on here because it dropped down so bad. But I ended up holding just a couple, and it wasn't even too heavy. And then once we got in here, we averaged it in, and I was able to come out with some profits and still hold my swing trade. So using the day trades to pay for the swing trades that's kind of like the goal. So now we're looking for a reversal on all of the airlines. So you guys see that, okay? We're looking for BA 225.27. Okay, I'm gonna go a little more. 227.30. I'm looking for this piece, 228.74, or you can just do 228.85. Go a little higher. We're gonna look for 231.30, 232, 230. What is this? 233.90, and then so forth. The goal is to try to come back here into the 240 and watch BA change trend. Okay, that's what I want to see on DAL. Same thing, DAL. As long as we can break that 41.70 and break 42, I think we can see 43 and 44 and 44.50. We have a lot of room for all of airlines, guys. This is my main focus this whole week. I want to see jets. I want to see jets break and continue. Okay, I want to see the RTY push up. This is what I want to see. I'm sure you guys can look at every single level, but get some time when you're in your swing trade and don't go heavy. Go heavier on the day trades. Take your profits and hold your swing trade that has time. I actually have DAL leaps for 2023, and then I have AAL leaps for next year. So I'm expecting a lot of recovery for the airlines. I think they're beat down so much. A lot of people have been scared to get in these trades and to go in long, but that's the best time to get in. While everybody is scared, you're the one that should be buying these dips and thinking about buying these leaps. Because if you ask me, where are airlines going to be in the next year or two, right? Even the next 5 years, do you guys really think that COVID is going to be around that much, that nobody's going to be allowed to travel? Do you guys really think that people are going to stop traveling because of COVID or because of the restrictions? I really don't think so, guys, because everybody has to travel somewhere, and everybody still likes to take vacations with or without that COVID. Nobody cares about that stuff. Everybody will still travel. The only thing difference is that there's going to be restrictions that are just adjusted into, you know, people's lives, and that's it. Otherwise, these companies still have great values, and we still have airplanes. We are still flying. Things are still being shipped through airplanes and things like that. You know, people are still getting rescued, you know, in these choppers and big old planes and stuff like that. So if you guys can sit there and tell me that these airlines are going to go out of business, then shoot, don't come in here and start buying. You know, grab some puts if you know, truly believe in something like that. But in general, I started loading up on DAL. I actually bought shares here for my daughter's portfolio, and she's gonna thank me by the time that she's 18 or even 20. I mean, look at this. We're at a great level at 40, and by 63. Okay, I have this yellow box here because this is my target for 2023. This is the leap that I have. Now, I don't think we'll be here. I'm assuming we'll probably be even higher, but look, I have all this space and all this reward that I invested in, that I believe in, and we can definitely look on the bigger time frame and the smaller time frame to make all those profits on the way up. If you guys can sit here and do the same thing for something like Facebook, okay, and tell me that we have, you know, room to go up here in 3 years, then why aren't you in leaps? Because you're scared to buy you're scared to buy at an all-time high. and you're scared that if we crash, your leap is going to be garbage, right? The difference between me and you is that if this crashes, I still have room to average down. And this thing ain't going nowhere. See, this thing comes here, I'll just play puts to the downside, hold my leap, and then come back in here and buy another leap. It's very simple. Can you do that with Facebook if you were to buy a leap? Probably not, okay? So it's a little more difficult. This one has more risk to reward, that has a future for it, has potential growth, and can have a lot of volume, can have a lot of attention, because once everything starts to recover, then you're going to see those earnings reports coming in, and the guidance is going to be higher and higher and higher. The earnings reports, all of them, they're still down. Yes, everybody lost money through COVID. There was nothing, no secret about losing money. But either way, it doesn't tell you that you should stop investing into something that is great of value for the long term. So that's kind of my thought process with the airlines. I think they have a lot of value, and I think they're in great spots to be grabbing some leaps. If you guys have questions on leaps, feel free to ask. You know, DM us in Conservative Collectors. We're all here to help you guys build some portfolios. If you guys don't have shares, get partial shares. Use those Robinhood accounts and grab some. By all means, look at the reward that it has. Okay, everything is amazing. So I'm going to be trading airlines all week, next couple of weeks, and that's going to be my main focus of sectors. Regardless of all the other little side plays, I think airlines is just going to be on top, and it's going to be the next sector to be rocking and rolling. Okay, so yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this quick breakdown on all of these. Please make sure you guys manage risk. Okay, I'm not telling you guys here to start buying everything. Okay, please only buy what you guys believe in and what you guys trust. Okay, whatever you guys see value for. Okay, doesn't mean that I see value. You have to. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, then that's on you. So but yeah, I just want to give you guys a rundown. The weekly watch list, BA. So we're going to be watching Jets. Okay, target for Jets is going to be 2350 to 24. Yeah, 2350 to 24. That's going to be my target for the week. If we go any higher than that, we're going to 2450 all the way to that 2470 level. Those are my targets for Jets. BA, I'm going to trail this thing all the way up into like the 235 and even 230. DAL, I'm looking for a trend change over that 4170 area. 42, 43, 44, and every 50 cents trail. AAL, I just want to be over that 20, over this 2040, and then we're going to trail every 50 cents, you know, so very simple to do that. Same thing for UAL. I'm looking for the high of 49.55 if we hit that by the end of the week. Disney, I'm looking for continuation to the high of that 185 level, of course, trail on the way up. Z, I'm looking for a lot of reversal, room for plenty of reversal over that 100, and we're good to go on every level to the top. MU, just looking for some continuation to fill that wick all the way to that 77. PayPal is going to be a range alerts, so that's going to be on you guys to break over that 280.50 or break below that 273. BYND is at a demand with a nice squeeze pattern, so this can be a momentum type of trade. Okay, but the target can be that 132.30 from 130. Okay, so I'll leave you guys with that. Hopefully that wasn't too much and not too little, and more than enough to keep you guys green for the week. Remember, guys, please come back and look at all the levels. The levels will not change. They're going to stay the same today, tomorrow, the next day, and all week. That's what the point of the weekly watch list is, so you guys can capture some good trades. All right, so I'll leave you guys with that. Good luck, everybody. Please stay green, manage your risk, be patient, and allow the setups to come. Don't force any trades. Okay, if you guys have questions, hit us up at Conservative Collectors. Tag us in the chats, direct messages, whatever you guys got to do. We are here to help you guys and provide as much information and educational content as potentially that we can. And we really hope for the best. We want to provide you guys with these tools to be able to day trade and continue to keep on growing. All right, so good luck in your journey, guys. and I'll see you guys on the next one.